iOS devices and so forth. And in the process of doing that, as you would expect, I lost my jailbreak on my iPad 2. Luckily, thanks to Chronic Dev Team and their hard work and the rest of the guys on that general team in general, there is a break currently available for iOS devices running 5.0.1, specifically iPhone 4S's and iPad 2s on the new A5 processor. So, we need to go back and I need to rehack my iPad. Alright, so I'm going to plug the iPad into the computer, and I don't know if you heard the ding in the background, but it is now plugged in. iTunes, once I start it up, will say, look, there's an iOS device right there. There's my iPad and my iPhone. I'm going to close this out. I don't need this running for this process. So thanks to Absinthe, I'm currently using, I think it's version 3 or 0.3, whatever the latest release was as of today. So we're going to go ahead and start that up. And Absinthe says, look, you found an iPad. It's got version 5.0.1. We can do that. So I'm going to hit Jailbreak. It's going to connect to the jailbreak. Now, as you can see, it does not recognize the fact that the device is jailbreaked because, or I should say jailbroken, because I restored it. So the firmware has no longer jailbroken. It's actually an original Apple firmware, which means the jailbroken apps I had on there are also gone. That's not a big deal. Luckily, I have them all saved through Cydia, so I'll be able to restore them pretty quickly. So, as it says right there, it's waiting for a reboot. Not done yet. Don't unplug the device. And looking at the device, we've got a happy little swirly deal on the middle of it. Basically, the standard I'm thinking, and I can't be interrupted right now. So we're just going to let that run for a few seconds. And the iPad has rebooted, and I'm now getting the Apple logo. And swirly deal again. And now we get the restoring bar that shows up when you restore a device, whether you're restoring to factory or from a backup. One important note to make on this is you do not want a passcode on here. If you have a passcode on your device, you're going to want to turn it off before you start doing this. It does have problems with passcodes being active. I have myself run into problems with the device not unlocking properly. You go to start the Absinthe app on the iOS device and find that it just kind of hangs. I followed some people's hints. I did a restore and loaded it fresh with no backup, and that worked great. Unfortunately, I did have to lose all the data that was on it. I'm hoping that's not the case this time. If it is, I'll cancel this video and make another one. So if you're hearing this, then it worked. Okay, so it says almost done. Just unlock the home screen and click on the Absinthe icon to finish. So I'm going to slide to unlock. I'm going to scroll to page 2. There's Absinthe. I'm going to hit that. And I get the Absinthe is now setting things up. Please stand by. This is the page that, like I said, was hanging before. Love to see what happens with it. And it is rebooting, which means that it was successful. So once we get through here, I'll get back in. I should have my Cydia icon, and I'll be able to restore all my stuff. But that's basically how it is. It's pretty straightforward. If you do run into problems where the Absinthe hangs, you can try going back to your home screen. And the current help tips are to click on the settings button on the device and then go to General and then VPN. There should be a special VPN tunnel that was set up. You hit that little checkbox and then click the little slider over to connect or on, and that will connect. It will crash. It will fail. It'll tell you a bad configuration. Within a few seconds of that, probably 20 to 30 seconds of that, the iOS device should reboot. If it does not reboot and you're still having that same problem, you can manually reboot the device, but instead of running the Absinthe program, you can actually try and open the VPN tunnel first and see if that works. If that still doesn't work, you're going to have to wipe it out and reload it, doing a full factory restore, which is what I ended up having to do ultimately. So now I unlock my device, I go to that other page, and it looks like there's Cydia. Cydia's there, Of course, my jailbroken apps are in fact gone, which is not a huge concern. Like I said, I can get those back. But that's all there is to it. Jailbreaking is pretty easy.